Let's go back to this. Sorry for that interruption there. Let's go back to this idea of safety anchors, or safety cues. Safety cues are, again, they're these things that trigger that autonomic pathway, basically, of safety and social engagement. It's something that helps you feel more grounded in the present moment, more safe, more connected. And it could be a whole bunch of things. It could be a number of things. Like I said before, it could be a scent. It could be for me, the scent. I'm usually pulled towards like vanillas or cinnamons, wood kind of scents, stuff like that. Oh, also the sense of citrus. I like citrus a lot. I love that. So it could be a scent. It could be a texture. Safety cues could be just someone that you care about giving you a hug. It could be a whole bunch of things. Something that I've noticed recently that is a major safety cue of mine. Something that really grounds me and helps me feel more in my body, more in the present moment, is design, and specifically typography, or utilizing type, font, text, words. And basically it's designing them, it's sizing them, it's giving white space, it's laying them out. It's all these different pieces of design that I've found I like a lot. I think I've always kind of known I like it. I really respond to what my system finds to be pleasing typography design. I kind of always assumed I did not have it within me to do it, to create my own. I don't think I can do. Maybe I can. I have an interest in like actually creating fonts. I'm not even near there, but maybe I will someday. I don't know. But things like graffiti, that's something that's always kind of just I've been pulled toward, to see how people can bend and break letters and create art out of it. Never been able to do it, not even with a marker. But it's just something I've been like pulled toward. Like there's an interest there, and it's something I could have developed and flourished in probably, but just wasn't on my path, I suppose. But now I'm realizing that typography layout, typography design, I love this stuff. It helps me get really grounded in the present moment. Super soothing. And it started off as just like general web design. I have my website, justinlmft.com, and I like to play around with it and tweak things here and there. And so I started looking at what other people were doing, and I was like, oh, I like this. I like how people are laying things out, how creative they can get, what colors they're using. And I realized there's like a science behind this stuff. And then I started delving deeper and deeper into layout, specifically with text, and just kind of kept researching and looking into things. And I started using Behance, or Behance, I'm not even sure how to say it, but it's this app or website where people show off their artwork or their designs. And what I'm really interested in are designs and typography and whatnot. So I kept going down that rabbit hole, and I started learning about something called Swiss design. And I fell head over heels in love with Swiss design. It just like it spoke to me on a deep level. That's just the visual layout of it, but also like the mathematics of it, the way that it makes sense logically, the logical structure of things. It was and is just this instant click for me. And even deeper into that, specifically, there's Joseph Mueller-Brockman. He is one of the pioneers of something called the Swiss grid. Very minimal. A lot of times black and white, doesn't have to be, but very, very minimal. And I bought his book. I bought some other books on typography and design. And I just feel fantastic. I feel great. I feel amazing. It's very soothing in a sense, but very grounding. I can look at this stuff for hours. I can become mindless. But when I'm mindfully doing so, I can really feel very much present, very inspired, very excited, but also just like very grounded. And things just kind of make sense. The world of design, the world of Swiss grid design specifically, it makes sense. It just clicks for me. It's like this structure. It's this visual structure, but also the way that my brain, I don't know how else to put it, but the way that my brain responded to it was like just this sense of clarity. And that's something that I strive for in the way I speak, the way that I create my courses on my website, the way that I utilize my Instagram. Clarity and structure are like kind of a big deal for me. And so to see this and experience Swiss design was like, oh, this is this speaks to me on a deep, deep, deep level. And in all honesty, it's probably pretty boring to other people. It's very structured. It can be very structured. It can be very bland looking. But for me, it works. It clicks. And so all of our safety cues are different for each and every single one of us. What I find is a safety cue through Swiss grid design may be boring as heck for you and or mind numbing and may cause a neuroception of danger and make you flip the page and move on to the next thing, or flip up your screen and get away from whatever I'm putting out there. Oh, by the way, I did put out a revamp of my polyvagal one-pagers, which is something I've had out for a couple of years now, which is just polyvagal fundamentals in one-page, lessons. And I added a couple things like behavioral adaptations and polyvagal ladder, but they got a complete overhaul. And a lot of the wording got changed, but it's now in this Swiss grid design style, black and white. So go to justinlmft.com. You can download those in my file resource section. And I'm really proud of them. They were super fun to do. I had such a good time doing that, and those are available for free on the website. I also did my Building Safety Anchors lessons. If you're part of Building Safety Anchors, that's been overhauled completely as well. And part of that is those lessons have been reworded, it's been added to, and now it has this, I think, wonderful Swiss design to it. So safety cues, safety can come in unexpected places. And for me, it is this design thing. And I think it was always kind of there. I just didn't realize it. And now as I became more mindful of, or as I'm becoming more and more mindful of what helps me feel grounded, I realized, oh, this is like one of those things that I feel really grounded in. This podcast is not therapy, not intended to be therapy or be a replacement for therapy. Nothing in this creates or indicates a therapeutic relationship. Please consult with your therapist or seek for one in your area if you are experiencing mental health symptoms. Nothing in this podcast should be construed to be specific life advice. It is for educational and entertainment purposes only. More resources are available in the description of this episode and in the footer of justinlmft.com.